What's up? I am Joel from 1051 The X. On the phone with me now, Taylor Momsen from The Pretty Reckless. How are you, Taylor?
I'm doing all right. How are you, man?
It's good. You know, it's funny. Your the caller ID comes up as Phillips Benjamin.
Oh, that's like the third time I've heard that. I think what happened is I've had some serious security issues in the past.
I can imagine.
Like some serious threats, and so I think my phone bill. I had to switch the name on my phone bill, so when I call, it doesn't come up as my name. So it somehow got switched to Ben at some point. I don't know exactly how that happened, but this is my cell.
That's very, very funny. It's like, her bandmate is calling me. Ben is calling.
Yeah, no, it's just me, unfortunately. All alone in quarantine.
Very cool. So I have questions. I have lots of questions. This week, very fresh in my mind, and also because you did that amazing collaboration with Matt Cameron, the third anniversary of the world losing Chris Cornell. You did Halfway There, that song from a more recent Soundgarden record. Can you tell me how that YouTube collaboration came about?
Yeah, I mean, Matt called me up and said, "Hey, do you want to do Halfway There, and do you want to do a quarantine video for Chris's memorial?" And I thought that was a beautiful idea, and it took me a minute to figure out the technical aspects of everything, but that was our tribute. We wanted to pay some tribute to him on such an important day.
And I was also wondering because, I mean, this is the first opportunity I've had to ask someone about one of those quarantine videos. Do you guys record separately? Because I imagine if you're in different locations, there's a delay if you do it live together.
Yeah, I mean, he recorded the guitar, sent me the guitar, I sang to the guitar, and then sent it back. He sang background vocals to that. It was a bit of a back and forth situation, but all the videos, but the key was to set up the video camera while you were recording takes. So it was all actually live, but not live, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. And then you can edit it back together and have a cohesive
and
product when you're done.
Edited the footage together, yeah.
Exactly. Okay, very cool. And thanks to your label, as we were getting ready to do this interview, I finally got the answer to my question, and maybe we can talk about this and share it with your fans, what the nature was about Matt Cameron collaborating with you on the new album, Death by Rock and Roll. I did not realize until today that Kim Thale was also involved, so you've got half of Soundgarden playing on a song with The Pretty Reckless.
We do. And I'll tell you, it's an awesome song. That came about, and we developed a friendship over the past few years after everything that happened. And while we were in the process of making the record, I had this song called Only Love Can Save Me Now, and I called them up. I was like, "Guys, this is begging for you guys to play on it. Are you in?" And they said yes. And we flew to Seattle. We went to London Bridge Studios, where they did Soundgarden's Louder Than Love and Pearl Jam's 10. I mean, so just an iconic history-filled studio, which was wicked cool, and recorded there for a couple days, and that turned into the song that you will all hear eventually at some point soon.
And I understand that mutual fandom for Soundgarden is kind of ingrained in the formation of The Pretty Reckless, but just in case anybody listening does not know, you were on that final tour with Soundgarden. The Pretty Reckless opened. You were there the whole time.
Yes, we were. I mean, that was a complicated tour to talk about now because of what happened, because it started as the highest of the highs for us of getting to open for Soundgarden. I mean, my dream tour, my favorite band of all time next to the Beatles. I mean, just insanely excited and overwhelmed by it, and obviously ended in tragedy, for lack of a better word. And I'm losing. You know what? You go.
All good. Let's switch gears. Let's get back to the new album, Death by Rock and Roll. I'm Joel, talking with Taylor Momsen from The Pretty Reckless. Almost 3 months ago exactly, you announced the spring tour. You let your fans know that the album, Death by Rock and Roll, is done. And then coronavirus, the pandemic, shuts everything down. What was going through your head during this crazy time when I'm sure you're just so eager to get back to work and get back on stage playing for people?
I mean, I don't want to complain because obviously there's so many people that are way worse off in this unprecedented, totally scary time. But I'm not gonna lie, it's a wicked bummer to not be able to play live right now. I mean, it's very weird, it's very bizarre. So we're certainly itching to get back out on the road. We were really excited for it. We had some really great touring lined up. I mean, all the festivals, the Foo Fighters, Guns N' Roses, Pearl Jam, like the list went on and on. It was some of the best touring we've ever had. And luckily none of it's actually canceled. It's all just postponed. So I'm trying to look at everything from a positive point of view. It's just moved. We're just hitting pause. We're hitting the pause button for a minute. For right now, since there's no live shows, just crank your speakers as loud as they go, and that'll have to suffice for the minute, for the time being.
Yes, those things will return eventually. I can't help but think about that the headline from Lizzie Hale, Hailstorm. She talked about how, we hear about a lot of the venues that are having difficulties right now, first to close, last to open, no federal aid. But then she also added that, up and coming bands who might not be on the level of a Pretty Reckless or a Hailstorm, for example, they might be struggling because maybe they were a band that was big enough to make an income by playing shows, and now they can't. Are they all going to have to get day jobs? What's going to happen?
I know it's a very scary time, not just for musicians. I think for just a lot of people in general, because it's so unprecedented and everything's so up in the air. I think that's such a huge part of the fear is no one knows, and the lack of information is what is terrifying. Aside from all the, physical, aside from all the other things that are terrifying. But, we're trying to do our best to support the crews, and, because they don't have jobs right now. Like our crew, we're part of that Fearless Records online live stream thing that was charity for Crew Nation with Live Nation. Because, a lot of people are out of jobs right now, and that's a really scary thing.
Absolutely. Speaking of the new album, do you have any sort of time frame for a date, or is everything still kind of nebulous depending on when the band can get back out there and actually support this record?
Everything's still a little bit up in the air. We're kind of taking it day by day right now, as I think a lot of people are. So we don't have an actual release date for the full album, but I can tell you that more songs are on their way. There's going to be more visuals, more music to come soon. So Death by Rock and Roll, the song, is simply the tip of the iceberg. So just stay tuned.
Very cool. Speaking of which, that was a very popular question from the Twitterverse today. Will there be an official video for Death by Rock and Roll? I imagine that, social distancing makes that sort of thing kind of hard right now. What's going on with that?
It's on the very forefront of my mind right now, yes. So, because we're not exactly sure how to accomplish that at this moment in time, but the short answer is yes. When, I don't know. So we're working on that and trying to come up with alternative ideas and concepts and how we can put a really strong visual to the song, because that's another. It's music to me. It's cyclical and it's full circle. Like it has to come. It starts with you write it, then you record it, then you release it, then you put the visuals to it, then you release it, then you play it. That's the full circle, and we're missing some of those aspects right now due to quarantine. So I don't know exactly how we're going to do it, but we're going to figure it out. That's the short answer. So the short answer is yes. I'm not sure how or when, but yes.
Well, we can't wait for that. We can't wait to see the Pretty Reckless back in KC. One more question for you, Taylor. What have you been doing during the quarantine, the stay-home orders and whatnot for fun? Like, what's your favorite thing to do to pass time?
I've been playing a lot of guitar just for fun, like more than usual, because I got nothing else to do. So that's been really fun, listening to a lot of music and binge watching Netflix shows. I'm watching Ozark right now, and nice. I think it's awesome.
I have not started Ozark yet, but right now I'm addicted to The Great. It's on Hulu. It's the story of Catherine the Great and how she became ruler of Russia, but it's very much a very smart, witty, sharp drama with a lot of dark comedy to it. So I recommend that.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm almost done with Ozark, so I'm gonna need something else to watch. So I'll check it out.
I think you would dig it. Taylor Momsen, Pretty Reckless, thank you so much for spending a little bit of time talking with us today.
Of course. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for the support. Really, it means the world.
You're very welcome. Good luck getting through the rest of quarantine. Can't wait to see you in KC.
Thank you. You too. Stay safe, man.